All right, ladies and gentlemen, there was some patch notes that came out yesterday, and obviously these patch notes are going to affect the upcoming MDI as well as the AWC, okay? So here are the changes, all right? So these are the June 24 changes really, really fast. A lot of you guys have heard them, some of you guys haven't. I'm going to read them out really quick. So there's a Guardian Druid change. Doesn't really, I mean, yeah, Mangle and auto attack damage increased by 10%. They buff Vengeance, Demon Hunters. Damage and healing abilities increased by 3%. Fracture and sheer damage, auto attack damage. Basically, it seems like they're buffing some other tanks for Mythic Plus. Affliction Warlocks. This is where shit gets crazy, bro. All right, Affliction Warlocks got 5% damage buff, and it's not offset in PvP. I repeat, it is not offset in PvP. So Affliction Warlocks, you know, they had some survivability issues, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I think they're going to be absolutely insane. We're seeing Affliction fall behind a bit in various content and feel... Okay, so they're increasing Affliction Warlock damage. With realms restarts, Blasphemy no longer grants Reign of Chaos. Okay. So the 4 set... Did they change the 4 set? What is the 4 set now? I don't even know. Chaos Bolt damage increased by 5% in PvE. Incinerate damage and Immolate damage are unbuffed. So I don't know if this is like... This might be a nice little buff to Necro, because their Incinerates are going to hit harder. Might actually hit really hard, I don't know. Now, in player versus player, they specifically made some changes, okay? So, a Balanced Druid fixed an issue where Celestial Pillar would break players from stealth, not whatever. Here's a big one. Craven Stratagem now reduces the cooldown of Feign Death by 5 seconds and was 15 seconds. So, every single time Hunters Feign Death and they would remove their dots, that got nerfed significantly. So it's an extra 10 seconds between when they can feign death, which is massive, to be honest with you. So Hunters aren't going to be as good against like Affliction Warlocks and any kind of dot classes. It's 25 seconds now instead of 15 seconds. It's a massive change. So 25 seconds is still insane. There's no doubt about it. But it's a huge nerf. Going from 15 to 25 is a big nerf. Mage has got some changes. Flow of Time conduit effectiveness reduced by 50% in PvP. So basically, Flow of Time is a conduit that reduces the cooldown of your blink. Now, I think the reason why they nerfed this is because of Blazing Soul. There's a talent that fire mages have where every time you blink, you get a barrier. The unfortunate consequence of not only the Flow of Time nerf, but the Netherwind Armor nerf is that Frost mages and Arcane mages got nerfed. So it's a bit sad to me because I don't think Arcane mages and Frost mages are OP at all in the context of the game. Fire mages, definitely immortal, but the reason why they're immortal is because of Blazing Soul. So it makes me a little bit sad that they nerfed Netherwind Armor and Flow of Time, consequently nerfing Frost and Arcane, when they could have just specifically nerfed Fire. Yep, definitely some survivability nerfs there. Nothing, it's not insane nerfs though. Like, I think still a better nerf would have been to Blazing Soul, in my opinion. Mistweaver got some buffs, renewing Mist heals for 25% more, up from 10, so 15% more healing there. Enveloping Mist now heals for 10% more, and this is crazy too. Crystallis now reduces the cooldown of Life Cocoon by 45 seconds, was 30 seconds. So the Mistweaver's got a bunch of healing buffs, and in my opinion, this might be a controversial take. I don't think that Mistweavers needed healing at all, to be honest with you. Like, I think Mistweaver's healing was completely fine. I think what Mistweavers needed was a way to be more offensive. Their throughput is already insanely overpowered, and now it's just even better. So I think my only problem with these changes specifically is that I think Mistweavers are just going to be even more damp. Like, it's just going to make Mistweavers excel at just dampening and slowing down the game even more, when a lot of them just wanted to be able to like do stuff offensively, you know, to like contribute to kills and be more of an exciting healer and stuff. Now, basically, the way Mistweaver is going to work is, oh, you're in trouble, Cocoon. Oh, you're in trouble, Revival. Oh, you're in trouble, Cocoon. Oh, you're in trouble, Revival. And it's just going to rotate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They're basically, for 100% of setups, they're going to have Cocoon, then Revival, or Thunder Focus Tea, Cocoon, Revival, Thunder Focus Tea, Cocoon, Revival, Thunder Focus. They're always going to have a button. So I don't know if I necessarily like the healing changes, because I don't think Mistweavers needed healing. Retribution, Templar's Verdict Conduit now causes Templar's Verdict to deal an additional 15% damage, was 30%, so Templar's Verdict got nerfed, the Conduit. So they nerfed ret damage a bit, and they made it so Shield of Vengeance doesn't hit as hard either. And I don't know if I really like the Shield, Templar's Verdict nerf, sure, but Shield of Vengeance, I feel like Shield of Vengeance is a really cool button. You know what I mean? Playing Ret Paladin and playing against Ret Paladin, I personally don't think that, like, Shield of Vengeance was really that big of an issue, and I thought it was like one of those buttons where you can kind of outplay people. I don't like that this got touched because I thought it was an interesting button. You know, it is better than Touch of Karma, but at the same time, is like there's stuff you can do about it, right? You can soak it, you can make sure not to break it while you're close to somebody, and then if you don't pay attention, you can die, which I think is totally fun. But what do I know? Mana regeneration reduced by 65% in PvP combat. So Holy Priest lost a little bit of mana regen. Their Chastise, Incap, and Stun are now 3 seconds instead of 4. I actually think instead of like I think the duration is a good nerf, but I think I would have preferred if it was a range thing. Like if they lost a little bit of range. Like I think it's too easy for Holy Priest to just get their instant CC out. I think it would have been better if they made it like a shorter range, so there's more you could do to kind of outplay it, like range it and stay away. But they just nerfed the duration of it, which is a good change too. They nerfed Ray of Hope, so I think the Ray of Hope nerf was super good. To be honest with you, Ray of Hope on a 60-second cooldown with all the other Holy Priest changes, I think this is totally fair. It's going to make it so, you know, Holy Priests have maybe a little bit more downtime in their, you know, automatic survivability. So some decent nerfs here. And then they actually buff Shadow Priest damage. A lot of Shadow Priests complain that their damage doesn't do anything. So Vampiric Touch got buffed by 10%, and Shadow Repain got buffed by 10%. So a little bit of dot damage increase. I think that's really cool. And could potentially make comps like Shadow Play strong again, or even outlaw Shadow Priests. Like Shadow Priests are just going to have a little bit more pump, which is, I think, a good change because their damage is a bit underwhelming. With Realm Restarts, Float Like a Butterfly, PvP Talent, now reduce the cooldown evasion by 0.5% per combo point, was 1 second, so that's good. Evasion and Feint, not going to be up as often. That's a good survivability nerf for Outlaw. And then Warlock's Dark Pact talent now provides an Absorb Shield for 300%. Of health sacrificed in PvP combat was 250. So their Dark Pact's going to be stronger. And then in addition to that, Essence Drain PvP talent now causes target to deal 9% less damage to Warlocks per stack. Essence Drain now stacks up to 5 times. So it's going to be 40% damage reduction. That's 4 now. Oh, I see. Okay. So it went from 5 to 4. Okay, yeah, good call. So it's 36. A good thing I can read. So 36% less damage. I don't know what the uptime is on this. So basically when a Warlock drain lives and heals himself, he's also going to make it so you do no damage. I think Affliction is going to be insanely crazy. Gateway Mastery now reduces the time between how often players can take your demonic gateway by 30 seconds. Yeah, that's crazy. So your Warlocks basically, Affliction Warlocks got 5%. This is what happened to Affliction Warlocks. Affliction Warlocks got 5% damage increase overall, which is crazy because they already did the most damage in the game. Their drain life now makes it so you take less damage. They can gateway more often, and their Dark Pact got buffed. And Soul Leech grants an Absorb Shield. Now they have more Soul Leech Absorb too. And Craven got nerfed. I personally feel like Warlocks are just going to destroy everything now. I really do. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like this is the rise of Affliction Warlocks. And here's another thing. So Rets got nerfed and Warriors got nerfed. The amount of mastery granted by Conqueror's Banner reduced by 33%. So Conqueror's Banner isn't nearly as strong. And Crushing Blow now deals 20% reduced damage in PvP combat. So Warriors nerfed. Hunter's Craven nerfed. Retribution Paladins nerfed. And Warlocks buffed. So what happens in my humble opinion from this is I think RMP still strong, but I think what's really going on here, guys, is the rise of DK plus Warlock. And as a result of the rise of DK plus Warlock, the kind of the soft counter to that, the rise of DK plus DH. So, and I also think Mistweaver stonks are up. In the meta of Affliction Warlock, I feel like Mistweaver is the best healer in the game into them because of revival. So Demon Hunters don't die to magic damage. So Affliction Warlocks are good. Not only do they not die to Affliction Warlocks, but they also have reverse magic, which just removes all dots. And then Arcane slash Frost nerfed. Warriors slash Rets nerfed. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is the main takeaway from these changes. So I'm curious to see what happens. I think RMP is still going to be good. And then a small buff to Shadow Priest, but I don't know how much the Shadow Priest buff is going to matter, to be honest with you. Maybe Athlete Shadow Priest could be good. I could see also maybe Ellie Shaman. Ellie Shaman Affliction Warlock could be good too. Fury's still going to be OP, we good. All right, Mud says they're still going to be OP. So, yeah, I don't know. Affliction Shadow Priest I think is going to be really, really strong. TSG could be okay. But I think the biggest winners were DKs. I think DKs with warriors getting nerfed, rets getting nerfed, and hunters getting nerfed, all those are just like, ooh, I'm a DK. That feels good. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff.